immediately. That lunar shower looks so cool. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Super Tees video, and in this one, we're going to be doing a rundown of the most highly anticipated hero talent class, the Dark Ranger and the Sentinel for the Marksmanship Hunter. Now, obviously, this hero talent tree has a lot of fans behind it, considering this is the archetype of Sylvanas, and which hunter hasn't been frothing at the mouth to potentially cosplay as Sylvanas. So it's very important that this talent tree and the fantasy that is accomplished with this build is successful, because we have seen other talent trees like the Riders of the Apocalypse being able to hit that mark and possibly even go beyond it. Now the Dark Ranger needs to be able to step up and match it. Now, one of the first abilities you're going to get from your Dark Ranger hero talent tree is the Black Arrow, which is just a 30-second cooldown damage over time effect that deals shadow damage, and each time it does damage, you're going to have a chance to generate an aimed shot. Now, when I first saw this ability, I found it to be visually underwhelming. I'll find a training dummy that he's not attacking here. It's just a little poke of a dark arrow. You don't really notice that it's there. It's not nearly as epic as what you would expect, you know, for the hero talent tree. It's just kind of part of the rotation. There's nothing about it that's like super outstanding. It at least is not dispellable, it seems, at this time, so that you won't have to worry about enemy healers removing your powerful Black Arrow effect. But even it is not that powerful. It just doesn't feel like it has a lot of impact. It just feels like a standard ordinary dot. You don't see a lot of change in terms of visual. Your attacks still remain pretty much the same at all times. I really don't think that it's hitting the mark when it comes to the level of hero talents and what people are expecting for this. I think it's falling very flat. Now, you do get some passives that are going to buff your damage overall, rapid fire and aim shot by 15%. You are going to be able to have a chance to summon in Shadow Hounds, but I don't even see them. I don't know if it's bugged or not, but like, we'll put this Black Arrow up on the guy again and try and see if we can spawn some Shadow Hounds on the target, but I don't think I've ever seen a Shadow Hound. There's a Shadow Hound. We summon a little pet from the starting zone in Undercity, and he goes to town on that mob. He's doing about 10k damage, it looks like, a hit. 10k damage a hit. So in comparison, you know, it's about 4 times as hard. He's just a very basic kind of like extra spawning pet that attacks the target. He's not as compelling as the 4 horsemen that anti-magic shield you and press death and decay and chains of ice your target. Like, he just kind of pops in and attacks. When you apply Black Arrow to the target, you gain the death blow effect, and when Black Arrow resets the cooldown of an ability, you gain 15 focus, and when a target effect by Black Arrow dies, you can get a cooldown reset. These are all just not super impactful. You can heal for 15% of all the shadow damage dealt by you and your pets, so a little bit of passive leech, which is not extraordinary. Again, that pet was hitting for like almost 10k damage, so like maybe a 1500 heal on like almost a 1 million health bar. It's not really that impactful. 3-second cooldown or grants you 3 seconds of survival of the fittest when you use exhilaration, and survival of the fittest will grant you exhilaration at 50% effectiveness. So smokescreen is likely going to be just better overall survivable throughput, but even this is not, in terms of power level comparison to other hero talents, it's not even close. And Dark Change, disengage. When you disengage the target, it's going to slow them by 40%. Okay, and this is what it looks like. So when you disengage a target, you will apply change to the target that snare the target by 40%. And I mean, it's definitely a unique visual, but it's such a low impact passive. Doesn't really last that long that you don't really even notice that it's there. When you compare this to things like Demon Hunters can backflip twice and all this other stuff, like, Hunter does not have the most mobility in the game, and these are just very lackluster effects. Shadow Lash, when True Shot is active, Black Arrow deals damage 50% faster. Okay, so this might be a way to make Black Arrow spawn more Dark Hounds, obviously. When multi-shot hits a target affected by Black Arrow, a burst of shadow energy erupts, dealing moderate shadow damage to all enemies near the target. So you also have to use multi-shot if you want to like incorporate this, which it's possible to not take it, right? Like in PvP environments, you almost never play multi-shot. So the one thing that may actually add to this effect, I mean, I'm going to try it right now. You have to take a talent that's pretty undesirable in order to get that benefit. Now on the right side, Darkness Calls. All shadow damage you and your pets deal is increased by 10%. Kill Shot has a 15% chance to generate a charge of aim shot when used on a target with Black Arrow. We're going to try the shadow damage increase because I want to see what this multi-shot can do. We'll just spam multi-shot with True Shot up here in a second, and we'll see how many Dark Hounds we can spawn. Withering Arrow. With Black Arrow resets the cooldown of aim shot or barb shot. A barrage of dark arrows will strike your target. This effect is also just very minor, and I almost don't even notice that it's there. So we'll put Black Arrow up. We'll start doing our rotation, and we'll just see like how many Dark Hounds can we spawn. So we spawned one Dark Hound already throughout our True Shot, aim shot. Just keep doing our rotation. See if we can spawn any more. See if we see any like proc. Okay, so 2 Dark Hounds. We can get about 2 Dark Hounds during a True Shot, which is a very long cooldown window. And I don't think I saw a single Dark Barrage of arrows pop out. Also, Black Arrow doesn't even have 100% uptime. You're going to have some time where it's not up. Now, I was going to try multi-shot. So let's see what multi-shot can do here. All right, multi-shot. You get a little like... Is it only on the first time it hits that it gets like a little shadow barrage? It's not... I think the point is that this is not enough. Both visually, thematically, and even on power and throughput. Like we're talking fantasy, not enough. We're talking throughput, not enough. We're talking immersion, not enough. This is not enough to make people who want Dark Ranger to be really baller happy. I do not see this being enough in its current iteration. It needs a lot more added to it in terms of exciting effects. These can't just be passive pets that just auto attack. They need to have some sort of synergies other than just healing you and attacking, I think. The Black Arrow needs more visuals. I'd really love if just almost all of your arrows were converted in some sense to shadow arrows. While Black Arrow is up, it just made all of your abilities shadow versions of themselves with other effects. Something, because visually it's just not there. I really don't think that the Dark Ranger is there at the moment. So let's check out the Sentinel. This is the other hero talent that's going to be available to you. Let's see what this one can draw. Can draw more, appealing gameplay to your hunter for the War Within. Your attacks have a chance to apply a Sentinel on the target, stacking up to 10 times. While Sentinel stacks are higher than 3, applying Sentinel has a chance to trigger an implosion, causing a stack to be consumed on the target every second to deal arcane damage. So you're going to get a damage over time effect, and it's going to be passive as opposed to an on-use ability, it seems. And don't look back. Each time Sentinel deals damage to an enemy, you gain an absorb shield equal to 1% of your maximum health. This seems to be a lot more powerful because it's percent health based as opposed to the Dark Hounds, which are doing percent of a very small number. This is percent of a very large number. So already the throughput for this talent tree is much better. Extrapolated shots. When you apply Sentinel to a target not affected by Sentinel, you're going to get 1 additional stack. Sentinel precision, aim shot, and rapid fire just deal 5% more damage. When you apply Sentinel on a target, you have a 15% chance to apply a second stack, getting rapidly up these stacks. Catch out. When a target affected by Sentinel deals damage to you, they are rooted for 3 seconds. Note the power of that next to a 40% snare. 40% snare, like this is supposed to be Sylvanas fighting Bolvar. It was a lot stronger than 40% snare in the cinematic, whereas you can get a root when somebody's attacking you. When Sentinel starts dealing damage, the target is snared by 40%. So you can choose between the root or the snare. Obviously, this is likely going to DR other roots, and it's not a super long duration root. Also not guaranteed, on the target. Whereas if you're fighting a ranged, this would be like you're fighting a melee class, a melee class is going to attack you versus you're attacking a ranged class, and maybe you just want to get more passive snares. Even the snare on this is better because you don't need to get close to the target. You can just apply it automatically from ranged as opposed to needing to disengage for it. Invigorating Pulse. Each time Sentinel deals damage to an enemy, it has up to a 15% chance to generate 5 focus. Chances decrease with each additional Sentinel currently imploding applied to enemies. Sentinel Watch. Whenever a Sentinel deals damage, the cooldown of True Shot is reduced by 1 second. So you're getting cooldown reduction in this build. Or Eyes Closed for 8 seconds after activating True Shot. All abilities are guaranteed to apply Sentinel. So you can either make True Shot more bursty or go to get more cooldown reduction for more True Shots. I'm going to try the more bursty one just to see what it can get done here. Symphonic Arsenal. Multi-shot causes any target affected by Sentinel to explode, dealing arcane damage of up to 6 targets. Very similar talent to this one. And just instead of shadow, it's doing arcane. But you also, again, need to take multi-shot for this to likely really notice it. Overwatch. All Sentinel debuffs implode when a target affected by more than 3 stacks of your Sentinel falls below 20%. So execute power on the Sentinel. Crescent Steel. Targets you damage below 20% gain a stack of Sentinel every 3 seconds. So either You can ramp up it, or you can make it hit all at once. I'm kind of thinking all at once would be cool. Now, Lunar Storm has the Starfall icon. So every 15 seconds, your next rapid fire summons a celestial owl that conjures 10-yard radius Lunar Storm at the target's location. An enemy affected by Sentinel with your Lunar Storm gets struck for 10,000 arcane damage every 0.4 seconds. Any target struck by this effect takes 10% increased damage from you and your pet. Now, this seems a lot more engaging to me. This feels like this is going to fulfill the role of Tyrande as a hunter. You know, it's got some lunar elements to it, some inspirations to it. So let's just see what this looks like. So that's the Sentinel. We can see I'm already up to 10 stacks almost immediately. That lunar shower looks so cool. Oh my God, it looks so cool. Just bombarding them with stars from the sky. Oh my God, just... This is good. This is the example of a good one. This is the example of a good one. There's no additional button bloat. We just apply the Sentinels. Now they're exploding as they're ticking down. We're calling in Astral. Oh my God, look how sick this looks. It looks so sick. This is so sick. Okay, I feel like Tyrande. This is good. This one is good. I feel like Tyrande. This one feels good. Not a really big fan of having to take multi-shot. Let's just see what it looks like. So it looks like you can bombard the target. I'm going to switch over here because an Arcane Mage is hitting that. It's going to be hard to tell what's going on. So we got a Sentinel mark on that. So if we multi-shot it, it just explodes for additional arcane damage. We can see that little explosion there. Nice little visual on that one. I love the rapid fire just summons in Starfall. And it looks like if it bounces with Ricochet, it has a chance to spawn it on any target that it hits. Okay. I like this one. This one's the money one. This one is the money one. Okay. I'm really this just makes me disappointed though in the Dark Ranger. The Sentinel one can be this good and this cool, and then the Dark Ranger one is just, to me, not hitting the mark on any subject matter really in terms of what it needs to be. I think for people to be happy with something that's supposed to be Sylvanas. So the Tyrande build, really dope. Dark Ranger build, it needs some work. That's where we'll leave it right now in terms of the review here for the War Within. Hopefully it gets it, because this Sentinel one is really cool. I actually want to play this. But other than that, thank you guys very much for tuning into the video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Smash the subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with news and content related to World of Warcraft. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.